So I just got back from the gym and I ate my breakfast and have not showered yet because I know that I'm gonna go work out the shop. Let's go get some stuff done on the cabinet. So yesterday afternoon, when it was terribly hot, I decided to go ahead and glue up the trim on my drawers, which is what this is. This is just to kind of weigh it down while it was drying, but I'm gonna go ahead and put those drawers back in. And I'm still waiting on my 2 extra pairs of slides, so I can't really do anything about that, but maybe we'll do some edge banding. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a conundrum. I'm not quite sure what to do about it. So I'm trying to think about the dog kennel door, the right side door for that cabinet, because the left side door will essentially be locked in place most of the time. It will be openable so that I can get in there and clean if I need to, but the right side needs to like have an access, and I don't want the whole door to be open, because one thing that my husband was saying, was that you know, the dogs like their kennel because, one, it's like a hidey spot for them where they can go to sort of get away and hide away, but a smaller entrance, they can defend it better. Like if they had a den, if they were like a wild doggo, they would have a den with like a small entrance, right? So that's easily defendable from predators or anybody that could get to them. So they feel safer when the entrance is smaller. So I want to make it big enough that they can get in and out okay without like squeezing through. But, but I want it to be cute too. So here's kind of what I came up with. So essentially, if you can see, I kind of drew out, it's like an arch here. Now I can cut these straight parts on the table saw, but the arch part, I'm gonna have to use a jigsaw, I think, because I don't feel comfortable enough yet using my router to do it. I mean, I could, but I'm gonna have to essentially fashion the door out of something else, because I'm not gonna be able to clean cut that whole arch spot to remake that into the door later. So I'm gonna have to make the door out of something else and then like attach it later, which is fine. So I guess I'm just gonna commit. I'm gonna cut the parts with the table saw that I can cut, and then I'm gonna do the arch part with a jigsaw. So let's see how that goes. Okay, well, I just made a super big error in my design here. Haha. My first cut, I did get it right to where the arch starts. The second cut, I really don't actually know how I did that, but I went too far, if you can see. So maybe I'm not gonna make a super cute arch door. I don't know. I'd have to cut a whole new piece of plywood, which I could do, but I'd rather just kind of use what I've got. Maybe I would just make a smaller arch, from here to like here. So let me draw that out and see if I can make it work. Okay, so I ended up using a Japanese handsaw. These are awesome. Just to kind of cut all the way up to my ending spot. And then I think what I'm gonna do is drill a hole, which enables me to put the jigsaw blade in, and then basically cut straight across. And then I'm gonna use the Japanese handsaw to cut out the curve, because I think that's gonna come out better than if I attempt to do it with a jigsaw. One thing with the jigsaw, they're great, but when you're going with the grain of the wood, you can usually get pretty nice, clean cut. But when you're going across the grain like that, it tends to get a really jagged cut, and it just looks really terrible, and it's hard to clean up. So I'm gonna attempt to do it with the Japanese handsaw, well, a little bit with the jigsaw, but you'll see what I mean when I cut it. Okay, so as you can kind of see. So I was able to cut out kind of the rectangle parts. And here is my start of my arch. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of use the handsaw, I think, but you could kind of see like how jagged and kind of gnarly this edge became, trying to do it that way. So I'm hoping with the Japanese saw, I can make that nice and clean. So let's give it a shot. Okay, I can already tell that's not gonna work. So I might just be resigned to getting out my router and doing it with the router freehand, which, to be honest, scares me a little bit. But I think I could do it. So let me get set up and I'm gonna try to do that. All right, let's give this a shot. Hopefully this will work out the way that I think it will. Okay, so what I did was I didn't put my router super deep. I just kind of did the upper section, because then what I can do is get out a trim bit and essentially trim off this last section following along the line that I already cut, which will make it essentially a little cleaner. I mean, I'll still have to do some cleanup and sanding it and all that, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. So, all right, let's clean it up. Okay, so what I've got now on my router is this flush trim bit. So this little bearing right here that spins will ride along this edge, and then the cutting blade will go straight across that. So that should work out really nice. I've actually used this quite a bit, and I love it. Using it with a template is way better because it'll be a much cleaner cut, but I can clean this up later and it'll look nice. All right, so I've got that cut out now, and I just gotta kind of clean it up a little bit, and then I can work on maybe making the door for it. Okay, so essentially that is sort of the general shape of the door. That's gonna be the doggy door side. So when all is said and done, this will be able to open with the hinge just like the other side does, but this bottom door will also have a hinge so that we can close it and lock it when the dogs are in there at night, or if we need to put them in there for whatever reason. But it's looking good. I'm excited. I'm gonna make the trim for it now.